What's up, guys? Thanks for clicking on this video. We got a very interesting topic here as we get towards the end of the season and people are starting to place their votes or thinking about who they're voting for, Rookie of the Year, MVP, All-NBA, all that good stuff. But I kind of want to talk to someone that's definitely become more interesting in recent years, and that's the MVP voting. It seems really everybody has a different way of looking at it, and coming up, I've been an NBA fan for a long time. I always tell you guys that, and I've watched these who wins and who's second, and who's gonna who team people are voting for. And what's really interested me is that I've kind of had a traditional way of thinking about the MVP. So it's as simple as best player, best team. That doesn't mean that the team with the best record, their best player always wins MVP. But that's where the voting tends to go. That's kind of where Steph, how he won his MVPs. And then again, like this year right now, I would vote for Giannis with that traditional way of thinking. His team is, historically great. He's by far the best player on it, statistically the best player in the NBA, and like he's deserved this MVP fully, in my opinion. But there's also another way to look at MVP, and that's where Russ kind of got his. It's where some people have won MVPs in the past, where if you take off LeBron James, if you take LeBron off the Lakers, that team's not very good. And with him, they're the number one team in the better conference. So where does that factor into all this? Where if you take Giannis off the Bucks, they're probably still going to end up being in the playoffs in the East. You take LeBron out the Lakers, and even with Anthony Davis, that team isn't, that team's probably not making the playoffs in the West. So how do you go about each of those? How do you make that decision? Which one is more valuable? Do you go with the more valuable to his team, or best player, best team, or on the best team? And that's where all the confusion gets here. And it's kind of funny. You guys have seen the media in recent weeks really try to push this LeBron James agenda, and that's fine. Let them want to promote the player, but it seems like they're really discrediting what Giannis and the Bucks have been doing all season, trying to push this agenda that LeBron is, the MVP. Again, you can feel that way. I'm not saying that, but it all comes back to just kind of a disagreement on what we value in terms of who should win it. Both these teams, the Bucks and Lakers, are number one in their conference, but again, the Bucks are the better team. Giannis is statistically been the better player. That's a debate on who you actually think is better. Giannis has statistically been the best player, but LeBron is without question the more valuable player, to their teams. And it's never, no one's ever going to come to agreement on what exactly to look for this MVP vote. And I think that they could do a better job of coming with that. Maybe I've heard Max Kellerman mention that if at the end of the season they decide who was the best player for this entire season, that's not something that I'd be opposed to. It would just be a different way of looking at it. But at the same time, if you do that, then I feel like instead of it becoming best player, best team, it becomes best player on the finals team. Is where I'm trying to think of a good year where, I don't know, let's say Steph Curry, the 73-9 season, where he was just incredible. Had they lost to OKC in that Western Conference final, does he not deserve best player that season because they lost in the Western Conference final? Because ultimately LeBron or KD would have won the finals that year? I don't know. Like that's still difficult, because then you fall into this place to where you can only get the award if you go to the finals, and that adds on to this culture the NBA's in, where that people are starting to catch on that it's not good for the promoting of the game, is that the only thing that matters is the finals. The only thing that matters if you win the championship. If you didn't win the championship, then you are flawed somewhere to the point to where we can't even trust you because you haven't gotten to the championship. And it's detrimental to a lot of talk around the NBA and just the overall environment, and then the way people talk about the players. And so doing something like that, where you would have a postseason award about who was the best player, only feeds into that even more. So I'm not sure what the solution is. I kind of wanted to open it up to, my subscribers and people that are clicking this video to comment and let me know what you think about, the MVP award and who should win it. What do you kind of look at in terms of who should win it each and every year? So this is kind of my first video where I'm kind of opening it up to you guys to let me know. So let me know what you think about this video. Again, I think I would vote for Giannis. That's in the more traditional way of thinking, but just in my own opinion, I think I'd give the award to Giannis, while acknowledging, though, LeBron is clearly more valuable to his team, and without him, the Lakers would be a mess. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys like this video and share it to other NBA fans that you know. And be sure to leave a comment, and thanks for watching. All right.